everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Liam Podcast, a show where I look to provide value to you by riffing on topics and answering your questions at the end of each episode. In today's episode, I'd like to talk about fear. Fear is what keeps us alive, but too much of it can keep us from living in the first place. So today I'd like to go over one of the ways that I've learned to manage it. Part of me thinks I might be more fearful than others, or maybe I'm just not as good at dealing with it as them. But I think this has led me to search harder for strategies to manage it. And it was 3 years ago where I was having a real good struggle with fear. It was midwinter, halfway through a contest season, and it was really getting in the way of what I wanted to do. I was looking for an answer, and I decided to give meditation a try. Over the course of the next few months, I eased into it. I tried several meditation apps, and the one that stuck with me was Sam Harris's Waking Up app. And I've been using it pretty much every day since. Now, there is no way I'm going to be able to teach you how to meditate in this episode, nor am I going to be able to break down the theory behind it all. And I'll be honest, I'm halfway through shooting this now, and I feel way in over my head. This is a complex topic to cover, and I am not an expert meditator by any means, nor fear management or anything like that. But I felt compelled to share this with you because meditation has had such a profound and positive impact on my life, specifically pertaining to fear. And there's been a lot of fear cropping back up in my life recently. The day after this video goes live, my mom will be going into brain surgery. I don't mean to share this to garner any sympathy or to gain views from it, but it is something personal that's happening to me, and I've been very afraid because of it. And I've been really falling back on my meditation practice to help me get through it. So I thought I'd share what I've learned with you today in hopes that maybe it will spark an interest to maybe try meditation if you're going through something. I doubt that my breakdown will actually teach you how to do anything within meditation, but I hope it maybe inspires you to dive down that path. So what I've learned over my time using Sam Harris's mindfulness app is that everything that we experience is an appearance in consciousness, from sensation, like the feeling of rubbing our hands together, to the sounds of the rain outside, to the thoughts that appear in our head, all the way to the emotions we feel, are all just an appearance in consciousness at their base level. And just as we can't decide what sound we hear next, we can't decide what emotion we feel next. And just like how a sound arises in our brains by hitting our eardrums, it passes away whenever it so feels. And fear does the same thing. It arises as it feels like and passes away in the same way. And learning about this transitory nature of emotions and of all the appearances in consciousness has sort of helped me rob them of their power. When I start to feel afraid, I notice that it's just an appearance in consciousness, and just like sounds come and go, fear too just comes and goes. I'll quote the great coach Jeremy Shepard by saying, "Fear is just excitement with shitty breathing." When I notice that fear coming on, I just double back to my breath. And from there, I can go about achieving whatever I was looking to achieve that was frightening me in the first place. So that may seem very woo-woo and sort of esoteric, but if you are, struggling with fear in the same way that I was, where it was getting in the way of accomplishing the things that I wanted to accomplish, what I can say wholeheartedly, mindfulness has helped me balance it personally. And I think there's a possibility that it could help for you too. I've included a link down in the description for 1 free week of Sam Harris's Waking Up app. I have no affiliation with them. I just think it's a great service that they provide. And as a member, I have a link to share with you guys. So if you're interested, go sign up and see what you think. And if you have any questions, always feel free to leave them in the comments below. One other type of mindfulness practice I found to be helpful to me is Stoicism. William Irvine has a great section on the Waking Up app about Stoicism. I've been using it a lot lately to help deal with the fear of my mother's surgery. It's left me feeling very grateful for the fact that we live in a place where that surgery is available, and, being in Canada, it's free and it won't bankrupt us for her to have it. And think about all the things that I'm just so fortunate for, even in the first place, that there's a surgery to heal the ailment that my mom has. It's called a schwannoma. It's a benign tumor in the back of her head. And she's had it probably for about 25 years now. And it's just been the last 2 that it's been causing her issues. So there's just so many positives that are actually coming out of this that I'm really realizing. And I've been able to spend, the last 2 weeks with my family, just enjoying time together. And that's been something so special that, I'm just feel really fortunate that I've had the opportunity to do. And this is, a very personal thing to share. And I don't know if it's the right call or not, but, selfishly, this podcast is a bit for me, kind of like a video journal where I can get things off my chest. And if by doing so, it helps you guys, then that makes me doubly as stoked. So now to lighten the mood a little bit, we do have a question from last week's episode, and it was by Dylan Jones. And he says, let me know why Darcy was naked. Haha. So in my last episode, I was talking about visualization and told a story about Darce being ankle deep, naked in a river, doing frontside triple corks in his head. Part of the reason why I was naked was just because he's Darce. And the other part was just because he wanted to take a dip. He loves to go in the rivers around here, sort of use them as an ice bath after big workouts or boarding and things like that. We were down at a local river spot and didn't have any shorts, so jumped in naked and got the job done, and then that was it. Guy's always good for a little bit of action. We also have some exciting news. Next week's episode will include a guest. Sean Miskamin will be coming on the podcast. He's my roommate, and he just got the cover of King Snow magazine, as well as will be releasing his first video part, a part of the King Snow movie. So he's going to sit down with me. We're going to talk about all that went into getting that cover, as well as, his first season filming a video part. And if you have any questions you'd like to ask us, please leave them in the YouTube comment section. Or if you're listening on Spotify, there's also a Q&A section in the episode's description. Give us whatever you got, and we'll answer them next week. If you enjoyed this, please consider subscribing. And I think that's it. I'd like to thank you all for tuning in, and I'll see you next week. Yeah, I just finished.
Cool.
Do you want to say hi?
Oh, hi.